Hey guys, May here. There's a little black spot on the sun today. It's the same old thing as yesterday. Those are the words of Sting in the Police, the lyrics of the Police, I believe in the 1970s. King of Pain is the title. King of Pain. So, I don't know how far you are in your advancement, in your raising of consciousness, your evolution, your connection to the cosmic messages. I wonder though if, like me, you've realized that music and lyrics, just like literature and movies, holds many symbols and codes, right? Does it not? I think we can agree on that. King of Pain. I'll always be King of Pain. A little black spot on the sun today. The irony in that is can't be lost on the fact that this could very well be a line of symbolism related to the human eye. So much of the Bible, so much of esoteric and occult knowledge is essentially about the human anatomy, the relation that it has to the cosmos, how it is a analogous to the cosmos, the constellations, the human, and this is evident in the zodiac, and so we can see it in lyrics, and especially what I find the most interesting is those older lyrics that should be dug up, which are much more interesting than today's music. So, King of Pain. What am I getting at? Where am I going with this? I'll always be, EYE will always be the King of Pain. Pain, what is Christ nailed to the cross? The pineal. Do you see the word pain in the word pineal? Now you could say, well, sure, Amy, that's English. But what about Latin and what about Greek? Well, here's the thing with English. That's what we speak. And in this file-based experience that we are having, English is dominant. It is a tool, it is powerful, and there is a lot of symbolism. And there is symbolism in Hebrew and Latin and Greek as well. But we don't fluently speak those. And I actually firmly believe, and I trust my higher self in this, that English has been manipulated. It's constructed in a way that we say terms that have deep esoteric and occult meaning that we have no knowledge of. So, and if you believe that you're in a simulation, then who's to say that this wasn't all here when you got here, right? You're told about the the language. What's that? It'll come to me in a moment. The Babylon, Babylon, the origin the origin of languages, essentially. Let me just say that for now, if you will. So the origin of languages, you are instructed in your indoctrination to believe these sorts of things, right? So okay, but you weren't there. All that you know is this present moment. That's all that you know. Everything else, past and future, is stored in your memory bank, your database, which is deep inside of the brain. So, coordinated with the don't let me forget, of course, the software circulating around us, that ethereal software. So, what I'm getting at with the pineal is we notice the word not only pine, we also notice pain. Does Christ experience pain on the cross and the crucifixion? Absolutely. Are you symbolic of this? Do you experience pain in this hologram, in this file-based experience? Of course you do. I would say you have quite a bit. I would venture to say, without even knowing you personally, that you have. We all do. We all do in this experience. So are we the king of pain? So the pineal is one of three glands, or I say G-lands, as we have the inner G, and there's the hypothalamus, pituitary, and the pineal. Pineal is the rock star of the truth community, of the awakened ones, right? So pineal gets center stage. However, there's also the pituitary and there's also the hypothalamus, and we'll get to that another time. But for right now, the pineal, for me, as far as I can tell, is the king of pain. Do I think that Sting and other major Tavistock invented rock groups of the past, do I think that they sing on consciousness, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Of course they did. Of course they did. You know, how many college kids in college campuses in the 1970s, you know, amidst a smoke-filled dorm room and several lava lamps, how many of those cracked the code to the meaning of our existence? Oh, I'm sure it happened time and time again. And now somehow there's this huge explosion of the same thing, as far as I can tell, happening on the internet. But with the AI coming forward, we will see more of the Who Man, like me, the real authentic Who Mans, coming to you with their own with their own thoughts and theories and ideas, right? So there is an explosion of this. Although there's also an explosion of since we're in a type of conspiracy gene ration currently, there's a type of huge arm of the machine controlling via AI, the same, you know, via psyops and AI, the awakening, if you will, trying to grab hold of the awakening. But those Who-mans are looking for those old symbols, those esoteric occult symbols that help better understand the nature of this present plane of existence. So I can see that in Pineal. I can see that in King of Pain. Do we have a king in the brain? Yes, you do. Just like a queen, a king and a queen. The bridegroom, the queen, you know, in the deep chambers of the brain. They're symbolic, right? So in the expansion of the pineal, there is pain. There comes with that knowledge in superiority, and yes, you are superior. If you are activating, if your pineal is activating, and actually all three of the glands for another time, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, there is a bit of suffering. As with that knowledge and with that power comes retreat, comes isolation, comes even more of that feeling of being outcast. You don't blend in. You certainly don't blend in with the Ottomans. And we are the king of pain because we feel the suffering of the other Who-mans. We feel the suffering state of this plane of existence. We strive for knowledge. That's painful in and of itself. There is a pain in the growth, in the expansion, in the exaltation of you, the EYE emanating from the EYE. There is a pain. And that is the nailing of the cross. That is the crucifixion in the brain. That is the pineal. So having said that, I see this symbolism and I share it with you to encourage you and to help you understand that you're not alone. First off, I'm on your side. I am always on your side. And I'm with that minority. And I've said this many times before, I don't think there's that many of us out there. Ether there, here, there. I firmly believe that. You know, whatever you refer to them, backdrop, you know, not that they don't have souls or spirits, but they're very much a part of the machine to convince you that reality, that this nature of existence, this reality is authentic and organic in its makeup, which it's not. So, King of Pain, pineal. The pineal on the cross, deep inside the brain, feeling that pain, that expansion, which is the EYE, opening, cracking open, activating, tingling, neurons, electrons firing, things happening, connecting with the cosmic downloads, King of Pain. That is you. From the EYE, that is me, and it has nothing to do with your Who-man avatar, only in the sense that you can actually feel pain. You can feel the prick, you can feel the emotional, you can feel the physical, limited to the five senses, but you can feel it. But what if we reframe, for lack of a better word, but it is a series of negatives in which we are experiencing life. It's a photon-based system, a series of negatives, right, by way of the moon for another time. But what if the pain is essential for the advancement, for the growth, which we get so frustrated. We wear that armor. We're so tired of the struggle and the suffering, right? There's no question. There's no question. I am with you on that. No matter what your station in life, this is not an easy plane of existence. It's a very dense, low vibrational field in which we are existing. Those of us with these huge spirits, right? So, what if we re-examine and look at the pain to see it as a way to, we garner more strength, we get even larger, bigger, taller in our higher self, right? King of Pain. So, it's a good song, worth listening to. Sting was known to lay on a bed of nails, supposedly. That's symbolic as well. As the chambers, the bedrooms deep inside of the brain. That's Freemason esoteric knowledge. And the thing is, actually, side note, I flew his wife, Trudy Styler, and the butler, Andrew. And I actually saw the police when they had a reunion. I was front row, Madison Square Garden. And it was the time of my life, I will say that. So I certainly felt a certain, these presence, being in his presence, right? I mean, regardless if he was handpicked by the devil, sold his soul, but who knows? But and we see a lot of that in the truth community as far as these big music and famous movies, celebrities types, right? So the thing is for certain I was there for a reason, and I won't go into that too much, but I will say King of Pain, I believe, is symbolism for the pineal gland and for our activation, and I believe that it's something, it's lyrics in a song that we should see in our favor only.